To all the geeks and nerds, welcome to this 1.14 bamboo farm tutorial. And this bamboo farm is a little bit different to what you may have seen before. So some other people have done designs where they zero tick the ground underneath to make this stuff grow super fast. But as you can see here, when it grows, it gets broken. So water comes across, pushes the items along, and then it all disappears back and is all totally flush. So yeah, this is pretty nice to watch. So yeah, let's get into this. Let me show you how it works and how to build it. And before we get into the block by block tutorial, let me show you it working a few more times just so you get the idea of how this thing works, and I'll show you around the back as well. So first of all, what I'm going to do is I'm going to speed up the time it takes these plants to grow just for demonstration purposes. So I have a command here where we can upgrade the speed that these things grow. So now these things are going to go super fast just so we can see what happens. So we have all of these bamboo shoots inside the farm that grow, and once one of them gets close enough to these observers at the top, it will trigger the mechanism. And if we look down here, we'll see that everything is totally flush and hidden. But then these blocks come out to break the bamboo, and then some water stream comes along to flush the items away, and then it all gets put back again, and it's all again nice and seamless. And yeah, you can't see it at all. So let's just watch this a few more times and yeah, see this thing in action. So you'll see on the side the ice is taken away to give us room for the water to come out and the items to disappear. And it's broken by some of that cut sandstone that comes out at the bottom. There we go. All the items drop down, water pushes it along, and then it should all reset itself just at the right time. There we go. All right, so this is what it looks like from the front. So no bits sticking out the side, anything like that, nice and clean. And from the back, it's pretty straightforward. The redstone is pretty clean, not too complicated. So yeah, this is the build. And we'll get into the details of this shortly. So yeah, what do you think? Not too bad, huh? Not too bad. There we go, another harvest, and it pushes the items along. All right, and of course all of the items then get distributed and get put into this chest down here for collection later on. So also what you can do is you can also stack these things together. So here I've got 6 modules. Each module is independent of each other. And again, obviously these will grow in super fast just for demonstration purposes. But you can see that as they get to the top, the water comes along, pushes all the items along. And what happens here is all of the items get pushed into a hole and fall down, and they end up in these water streams right here. You can see some flowing out right there. And then they get pushed along here and end up in this double chest. Now, obviously with this one going at super high speed, we're getting too many drops, but in normal operation, that should be just fine. So yeah, if you want to get more drops out of this thing, you could just add more modules to fit what you need. All right, so let's get into this. Let's get into the build and explain how this thing works. Now, before we get into the block by block tutorial, I need to give credit where it is due. Now, this design is based on a concept that I saw on Reddit from a user called Trumpet Solo 93. So credit where it's due. There'll be links in the description to his Reddit profile. And I've spoken to him already about this, and he's totally cool with me making a video and making some adjustments to it. So the design that he put out originally was a bit more complicated than this, and it was also designed for the PS4. So yeah, what I've done here is I've used his concept of how to break it and get rid of the items, but all of the redstone from behind is my own design. I've totally rechanged how this works and made it much simpler and much more easy to build. So yeah, go and check out the Reddit thread for the original concept. And yeah, this one is a bit more easier for us to build in survival, and yeah, and so not as complicated as the original concept. But anyway, let's get into the build. Let's discuss this, and I'll tell you how it works. So let's start off the build with 7 blocks of the block you want your bamboo to be placed on. So I'm going to use grass, but there are other blocks you can use. So you can use either grass blocks as I've got. You can also use dirt, sand, gravel, mycelium, podzol, coarse dirt, or red sand. Now, of course, if you use a gravity block, don't forget you'll need some blocks underneath to hold it up. Once you've got your 7 blocks on, then you can place down your bamboo shoots all the way along. So you've got 7 of those just there. And then we can start off with adding a too high wall at the front, just with glass, just so you can see what's going on. And then along the side, add some packed ice, and also on the other side as well. And then at the back, pick a block of choice, doesn't matter what it is, and do a too high wall here as well. And once you're done with that initial build, come around to the back and place a block 1 away from the top of the wall, just like that. And then follow this all the way along to the very end. And then get yourself some sticky pistons and place them across this block just like this. These are the pistons that are going to extend these blocks here to break the bamboo. And then get some redstone dust, and place that along the top of the blocks you just placed. And then from the back, come down 1 block below here, just like this, and then place yourself 6 blocks in total. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then another 5 next to that. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Then get yourself some repeaters. Place 1 pointing this way into this block, and then we need to place another 5 this way. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, and put these 5 onto a max delay, just like this. And then at this end, we need to put another 2 repeaters again on max delay, just like that. And then get yourself some redstone dust and put 3 down, just like this. Next, add a block to these 2 repeaters right here, and then 2 next to these ones, just like that, to give yourself this kind of L shape. Then you need to come 1 block up, just like that, and then get yourself some redstone dust and put 4 down here, just like that. 1, 2, 3, 4. Then get an observer and face that into this redstone, just like this. Get a dispenser and face it next to the observer, but facing this way, and then get yourself a bucket of water and stick it inside. So what we've made here is what's called an ABBA gate, an ABBA gate. So what's going to happen here is we're going to get a power source over here in this block. So when the power source is turned on immediately, it's going to power this repeater here, which is going to power this block, which powers all the redstone line, which extends all of the pistons straight away as soon as this block gets powered. And then what's going to happen is the power comes along here and also ends up triggering this observer, which triggers the water. Now we want to make sure that we do this in the correct order. So when we extend the pistons, we want the pistons to extend first, then we want the water to come out. But then when it turns off, we want to retract the water, and then we want the pistons to come back. So we want to do it in a particular order. So here's a little setup of this circuit to show you how it works. So here we're going to turn the power on, and you'll notice that the blue block comes up first, then the yellow block. But then when we depower, it's the opposite order. So the yellow block will come down and then the blue block. So this is the circuit right here. And it works because if we power this one, this signal comes around here, powers this one second, and because of the delay, and then this repeater locks this repeater. Even then, when we remove the power, this repeater stays locked. It stays powered because it's locked. That's how it works. Next up, we work on the pistons that are going to retract the ice on either side to allow the water to flow, and then the items to come out the other side. So to do that, what we do is first of all put a temporary block next to the redstone dust here on either side, just like this. And then get yourself a sticky piston and place it next to the temporary block on this side and also on this side. And get yourself some ice, some packed ice, and put it next to the piston. And then of course you can remove your temporary block. And then above this redstone dust, place yourself down a whole bunch of blocks just like this. So 3 on each side, and the center one, make that a glass block of some kind. And then get yourself some redstone torches and put 1 on each end, and that should extend the pistons by default, so they're in the closed position. And then place redstone dust across all of these blocks just like this, including the glass in the center. And then get another solid block and place it next to this redstone dust just here, and then place a redstone dust on the top. And then you should see that this connects here on the glass, and it also connects around underneath just there like that. So next, come around to the right hand side and place a temporary block in the center of these 3 ice, just like that. And then get a double chest and place it next to your temporary block, just like that. Then get rid of your temporary block and then get a hopper and point it into your double chest. And then we can place some more chests underneath. So put one double chest there and another double chest underneath like that. And then link them up with hoppers just like that. And now we're about ready to give this thing its first test. So what we can do first of all is add another layer of glass along the front here, another 7 glass like that, and also place down a start of a frame in front of this ice, just like this on both sides. And then around the back, add another layer of your block of choice for the backing. Once you've got that in place, we then need to get a power source. So we use a redstone block. Now we're going to place it here next to this repeater. What should happen is the piston should extend and break the bamboo just like it did there, and the water should extend. So there you go, the water's come out, and of course the items have come on. Now we haven't got the wall up all the way, so we've got items all over the place, but we'll fix that shortly. I just wanted to make sure that bit works. Now if we remove the power source, we should see the water goes away first, and once it dissipates, then the pistons fire and the walls are placed back where they should be, and the back wall is also replaced. We then need to raise all of our surrounding walls by a further 9 blocks. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So that should give us a total of 12 blocks from the bottom there all the way up to the top should be 12 blocks. Now the reason for that is that, and I'm going to demonstrate over here, is that bamboo will grow anywhere between 12 and 16 blocks. So here we go, this is 12 blocks from the bottom, and you'll see all of these bamboo have all reached at least 12 blocks, up to a maximum of 16, but of course it's all different. And I've marked here how high each of these bamboo shoots are, so you can see with this red glass just how high they are. Now if I go underneath here and break all of these, just like this, you will see that when they grow back, they actually grow back at different heights. And I'll sped up the game again just so these can grow super quick so we can see where they end up. And we should see that they all end up at different heights from where they were originally. And as you can see now, all of these bamboo shoots have now all grown to different heights. So we can't rely on the same plant being grown the same height each time. So when we build our container, we build it up to 12 blocks. So we can guarantee that all of these bamboo shoots will all reach that 12 block limit, no matter which plant they are. Once you've built your chamber up to 12 blocks in height in total all the way around, so that includes the frame around the edge. I've also added it along the bottom, and also the ice on both sides and the backing block as well. So what you need to do now is if any of the bamboo has grown up past that point, just break all of these. That's no problem, just get rid of those. And then what we need to do then is get some observers and face them down onto the bamboo just like this. And then get some redstone dust and place it along the top of all of these observers. Now what we do here is, the reason we have all of these observers is that whenever any of these plants gets to the very top, then that will trigger the mechanism to break all of the bamboo. Now if you want to save on a few resources and just use one observer, then just place this one down right here, this second one along, and just place blocks along all the rest of them. And that just means that the mechanism will only fire once this second plant gets to the very top. So that's up to you, you can do that, no problem. The last thing to do now is to connect these observers at the top with the braking mechanism down at the bottom. So what you need to do here is come to this second observer here and place down 5 blocks, 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5, and then place another 4 blocks next to these, so 1, 2, 3 and 4, just like that. Then get yourself a repeater and place it here facing this way and put it on max delay, just like that. Then get some redstone dust and place 2 on here and here like this, and another 2 on there and here just like this. And then on these blocks right here, get yourself 2 comparators facing this way, and then turn around and have 2 comparators facing that way. And then what you need to do is get yourself a sticky piston and place it underneath this back block just here like that. And then get some slime blocks and come all the way down to the bottom to this point right here. And then place a redstone block above it. So the redstone block is now 1 away from here. So when the mechanism at the top fires, it will extend that piston, which pushes this redstone block down into this position right here. And that is it. We are all done. And so to finish off, I'm just going to add the frame around the top here. And of course, we've got the dispenser that sticks out this side, and we've got the chests and hoppers that stick up this side. So if you want to cover them up, you can do that as I've done here with another block just around the outside. Just make sure that if you put a block on top of this chest right here, you use a stair just to make sure that we can open it. But now this is all done and ready to go. Now all of our plants are at the top here touching these observers, so it's not going to fire. So if we just break one of these blocks, we should set the mechanism off. Let's see what happens. There we go, all breaks. All gets extended, the water comes out and flows along this way. Now one question you might have is, why have we got ice along the side? Now most of this is just for aesthetic reasons. The important ice block is actually this one right here, because when the water stream comes along, the water stream finishes here and we just need a bit of ice so the items can come along and end up in the hopper. So this ice I've just followed all the way up just to make it all look the same. Now you don't need to use ice all the way, you just need to have that one ice block just there that's next to this hopper just here. And there we have it, a super cool way to farm bamboo in 1.14. So this is, of course, is not the most efficient setup, but yeah, I think it is the most pleasing to watch. And yeah, it's all nice and flush and clean and will look really nice in your base. So I hope you enjoyed the video and you found it useful. And if you did, then please hit the like button. And if you're new, then feel free to subscribe. And if you've got comments or suggestions or any kind of feedback, then get it in that comment section. All right, my geeks, until next time, I will see you later.